All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Swain Betting League. I'm HSR here with the one and the only Mr. 420 Long Crank, Sans 69.
Hey, the 69's still there. It's just hidden behind Rito's new invisible hashtag bullshit.
All right, well, we count that. Chat, real quick, if you could just do me a favor. I did adjust some audio things after last week, so if you could just let me know early on here if me and Crank and the game all sound to be in relative harmony with one another. I'll be keeping an eye on Twitch chat here through the draft as we head into our first game of the night. Crank, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm hyped, dude. I'm ready for some great League of Legends. Already see we got some of the obvious bans out of the way. TF, Maokai, OP is shit. Not going to happen. Kled, because we got to respect the Thunder. Nocturne tends to be a problem in SBL. Mordekaiser first pick for Dario Chopman. Not at all surprising. Dude is a monster on this champ, and he will make things happen on the map when he gets his Kaiser.
Yeah, definitely interested to see here where they go with it as I try to turn myself up a little bit here.
This is the first time we've seen Alawi this season too, hasn't it? I think we've had a couple of Alawi bans so far this season, but not a pick yet.
Mordekaiser versus Alawi, dude. It's hard. It don't get worse than that.
They're just going to beat each other's faces in until they both die to a pulp. Top
lane is bad, and you know what else is bad? Letting guys who haven't played League of Legends in 2 years commentate the SBL, and the time has finally come. I have to learn what Smolder does.
I know he has a mom, and that's about it.
Yeah,
and this champ builds items.
Yeah, that is about the extent of my knowledge as well. So we will see here. I've heard this champ is very good. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more of it yet.
Yeah, once they tweaked the numbers from the initial patch and gave people a little bit of the, like, you're just figuring it out wiggle room buff, people finally kind of figured out how to make this champ work. So I'm interested to see what it could do in the hands of some of our SBL aficionados here. Ooh, and a Moo pick. There's an old classic we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I opens up a lot of options here for the rounds 2 for the Wormbound Crusaders, who have had a bit of a rocky start to the season. Obviously 0-3, more rocks than not there. Definitely interested to see what they'll do tonight. It's not like we've had bad teams in the SBL where it's like the team has no chance of competing. It was drafted poorly in the SBL draft, and that's the season. I don't think that's Wormbound Crusaders. I think this team has shown a lot of life. Obviously, they've had a lot of mid-game leads and have just had some hiccups, we will say, in the mid-game. So, we got a back-to-back here to start the night off. There is obviously a huge difference between being 0-3 versus 0-5. If I'm still a little quiet, I'm actually kind of shocked about it. Let's turn it up even more, ladies and gentlemen. I am hopefully loud enough now. Obviously, I like being loud, so I will turn things down as the next knob if I need to, but we will see where we're at right here.
You be the loud. You be the loud. I think you kind of nailed it. Like, this is probably the least 0-3 team I've seen in a while in the SBL, and I think a lot of it is probably just the trademark of the SBL, which is no lead is unthrowable. It just so happens they've been on the wrong side of the throwing coin on each of their 3 first games. I do anticipate that they're going to find some success at some point in the season, if not tonight.
And this is a big night for them. I think if you don't find that success tonight, you're now really facing an uphill battle not to be that 4th place team, the team that does not get to play a best of 5. So I think all the pressure is on them. And they are playing against the 3-0 and the 2-1 team, so not the easiest place to be. So we'll see.
Uphill climb of uphill climbs. And they're going to have to do it against arguably the 2 best solo laners, both playing on the same team in the league. As, oh boy, Thrifty gets the bad dragon, and this may spell bad news for the Wormbound Crusaders. This is not the kind of champion you want to see on Thrifty Senpai. A hyper-scaling, ultra-carry, holy Hui Batman? Now we got to know what this champion does, Swift. What the fuck does Hui do?
No, it's fine. Hui is just the standard long-range mage. You go, the damage every time he AoEs people. It's really easy. Smolder. I thought Smolder was a mid laner. What's going on?
All right, fair enough. As long as I don't have to know Hoy's ability names for the purposes of this job, I'll take it. The only thing I'm going to know about Smolder is "Mommy," and
Yeah.
then we're
So
done.
speaking of calling for your mother, I actually think in a matchup like this, we with Thrifty Senpai on the old dragon, and Smolder being the child dragon, I actually think we are not allowed to make those bad dragon jokes with children involved. So just as a heads up, coming in, I did get a memo from Swain HR about that one. So Mr. Crank, if you could adhere to the HR guidelines.
I will do my best to respect said guidelines and not offend HR or the ethics committee or the OSHA committee or our lawyers or our sponsors. Speaking of sponsors, sponsored by Water, SBL. It's free unless you pay for it.
I do love paying for it, sadly. I'm spoiled. I need my good water.
It just tastes better when you pay for it.
Okay, so actually though, like, what role is Smolder?
80 carry, bot lane.
Okay, it's like I can figure that. Is it like a normal enough AD carry? Is Smolder gonna right click people?
Think kind of like Ezreal, where you're like a mana-hungry caster carry.
Okay.
He's got a spammable Q that upgrades as you gain more dragon stacks throughout the game. He's got a little bit of mobility in his kit, and he's got a not quite global, but pretty fucking big, long-range skill shot ult. Except he's just a teeny little cutesy dragon. So that's the best comparison I can draw, really. And he builds a bunch of items that should make no sense on paper, and yet they somehow work. Kind of like Ezreal.
When you're 2 years removed from the game, you learn to only call out the items if you think the person building them is really dumb. So I'm not going to do that. Smolder, you could build 5 support items, and I'll assume that's meta. Twitch chat, if you want to do me a favor, just tell me your favorite one Smolder fact, and by all of your insight combined, I think I will be legally qualified to commentate this game. But on the other side here, the Briar and the Feet Cherry. Shout outs to CRJ Superfan, aka Chai, who has earned himself a starting role on this team. Played okay last week. He's playing a lot better than he was playing last season, I think, is the big thing, which when you're talking about having been, the weakest player in the league last season, and now to be like unequivocally decided as a starter, where I have people on your team going like, yeah, he definitely like should be starting. Is a huge improvement, and we love that.
Yeah, and he's really shown out this Tarek in multiple games now, where he's shown that he can make an impact. This champion is something that people have to take seriously, and when he's pulled off the cool stuns, the crazy timing on the ult, it's made a huge difference in team fights, and our team has seen it personally. So he's got a lot of ability to make things happen for this team. It's just a matter of execution. And so far, he's shown he's got it in him. He's just got to find a way to do it consistently.
Show us what you got, Chai. I'm rooting for you. You know what? Do you know why I'm rooting for Chai? Because Chai roots for me. And that's new to me. I've never really experienced that before. Apparently, you lose enough Smash games in embarrassing fashion, and you become a community icon. And that is why we don't play in the SBL anymore.
Man, if that's all it took to get people to root for me, I'd play more terrible Smash more often. I'm just the world's worst Ganondorf side B.
Do I have some news for you about what currently has signups open? Is Baddie Smash 8.5. So if you have ever wanted to commit to a 4-week mistake, I strongly encourage you to sign up. Or 3-week mistake. Mini season. I would encourage
now when you frame it like that, how could I possibly refuse?
No top players allowed. 3 weeks only. You got nothing to lose. As we head into the loading screen, and I think Blab may have just beat us to the punch on something.
Phoenix Blaze is starting in the jungle today. That's a little spicy shakeup.
Yeah, that is exciting. I thought he is too good for the bench. I was not paying attention during the lobby in pregame, and we obviously don't see them during the loading screen here. So we'll see if anything exciting happens here at level 1.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
If I'm moving on up to 57, 58, 59.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. Let's with double speed here, folks.
Mash that equals button.
20 seconds behind, so we're gonna just watch this at double speed as blue team gets scouted out. Oh my god, I'm not even on the right. You ain't missing shit, chat, because we are.
Minions have spawned.
There we go. Sorry, that was a very Zed-like mistake. I'm just off my game today.
It's all right. As we say, it wouldn't be the SBL if it wasn't just the right amount of scuffed.
All right, so we are at 1:29, 30, 31.
Perfect.
So all of that kind of scouting done kind of both ways, and we are into the early game.
Everyone's favorite, most riveting part of any League of Legends match, the part where you kill the first lane minion.
Hey, I mean, some SBL players really need to prioritize winning the first quest of the game, so I'm happy to see it. See what directed camera settles on. Matchup we hadn't really talked about much is the top lane, which I think is going to be the matchup of the game here. Obviously, Dario and Thunder, both a lot of hype coming into the season. I think Thunder has probably played a little below his standards through the first 3 games, and Shotman has really given you the full spectrum of Shotman through the 3 games.
Just pure chaos all over the map. Usually ends up decimating the lane opponent in the process, but I mean, Thunder is well equipped. He knows what he's doing, and they're both playing champions that if they get out of hand, they start to become a real problem.
Yeah, I've realized in the past week, I don't know why I never thought of this sooner, and this is gonna make sense to all of like 3 viewers in chat probably. Dario is just the Russell Westbrook. Oh, we may have no damage going on to Tizzy, never mind.
You started a sports analogy, they started fighting.
Yeah, they wanted to say it for me. Dario is the Russell Westbrook of SBL players. And I mean that in the good and the bad.
Yeah, for a second I thought you were going to say the Russell Wilson of players, and it would have made about just as much sense.
Oh god, who's super carried? Who's won a lot of championships and was carried? That also I want to make fun of. I'm not going to name names here because Dario Chopman is getting ganked and the Blaze is in. Gonna land the CC. Dario Chopman flashing out, ticking away, and I think he's going to be okay here. Oh, that was dangerous, Phoenix. But they are going to secure it barely, but Wang is here going to try to clean this one up. Trundle flashing forward, gets the reset, going to get the 1 kill. Can he chase down a Mumu? I don't know what the timer is going to be on the pillar. This is going to be tight, but I think Phoenix is fine. 1 for 1.
Both flashes blown by the junglers there. A Mumu to get out from under the tower and Wang to secure the kill.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen one of these where all 4 flashes go down in the top lane before 4 minutes like that. Now I'm actually really curious to see what we'll see in the next few minutes here. If we'll see either of these junglers pathing back, if they think this lane is volatile, and they want to get these ganks off before either of these champions hit 6. So keep an eye on what the next path looks like for these junglers, but good start there for the jungle.
Yeah, and Thrifty is just bullying Dolphy out of mid lane, sends him back to the fountain from whence he came. Acel off to a pretty hot start here.
So looking across the board, nothing too crazy going on in the early. Little bit of a lead for Mr. Tuesday in the bot lane. The only thing that's really noteworthy from the early laning phase here.
Yeah, and I suppose that's to be expected. It's the one matchup advantage that you could probably definitively say exists on the part of the Wormbound Crusaders. Tuesday is one of the premier carries in the game. You'd expect them to establish a lead early.
Yeah, and Tizzy looks like a role player as long as she's not playing against Respect, so it makes sense that Tuesday is abusing the skill discrepancy there. And so is Civibeard, who's a solid player, and obviously Tizzy and Chai are... They know what their role is on this team. It's to let the other 3 guys carry.
Yeah, you just got to make it to the phase 3 team fight and then team fight well.
And we could have a fun little 2v2 going on in the mid lane here. Thrifty is kind of low health, but he's playing pretty far forward anyways. He feels very safe. Remember, neither of these junglers do have their flash available, but Wang is a paper-thin little mummy. Bites off a lot more than he could chew. Bites off a lot more than he can chew and goes down choking on himself.
Yeah, you were right. The Hui's just a bunch of AoE damage caster bullshit. Holy, Thrifty makes it out by the skin of his butthole.
Yeah, that is odd. No, he does it. Good job, directed camera. Everyone knows the butthole is a sensitive place, and if you're surviving by that skin, you're probably not surviving for very long. And now that is a nice sequence of events here that's going to give a first pressure point on the map over to the Wormbound Crusaders, who are yet again getting themselves a nice little lead here in the early phases of the game.
Why the fuck did directed camera just decide to tease us like that?
That was pretty egregious, I'm gonna be honest.
I swear to God, like every year, I know the spectator client gets consistently worse because it wouldn't be SBL if it didn't, but Jesus, Riot. Give us the kill cam, god damn it.
Yeah, I mean, basically every aspect of Spectator's just been getting worse since, like, 2013 onwards, so nothing ever shocks me anymore.
Yeah, at this point, the bar to clear is can we get spectator to load? And I guess we can't have standards beyond that anymore. Not allowed.
So, look at
Now, here's a question for you with this noodle fight that's going on in top lane right now. If Alawi ults Mordekaiser and Mordekaiser takes her to the Shadow Realm, do the tentacles come with?
That is a very intriguing question. I'm actually curious.
Guess we'll find out here in a couple minutes if they keep this up.
Yeah, we do, by the way, have neutral objectives being split here. So the Crusaders going to take the Dragon. Void Grub's going to go over to Wang and the Wangettes here. Now we do see a beautiful gang. Adolphi has no idea, but has a flash. Flash coming through, but there is a beautiful CC chain. Flash blown, life lost. My Wang with his second.
God, clean CC layering, excellent pillar out of Wang. Just a spectacular kill for the feet jury.
Yeah, and that one for Dolphy, pretty nice footwork there from Tizzy. A lot of players would have got snared there and died. But really bad play there for Dolphy. You knew they had just done Void Grubs and had no respect for it. Now Tizzy taking some... No, we're fine.
No, we're fine. Oh, Smolder says he's going to fly it. Ooh, damn, the Q's starting to do a little bit of damage. You say now that Tuesday's got a Sheen under his belt. He's going to have a little more respect for the skill shots coming her way.
I'm going to just analyze him like this is an Azrael skin, and I think I'll have the gist of it, so we're good to roll.
I mean, your guess is as good as mine, my dude. 200 years.
By the way, up in the top lane, starting to turn into a little bit of a lead here. Couple of waves up for Chopman. He's got some big pressure right now. Watch to see if he can force a recall, because he could probably threaten a plate if he does. I'll take a peek at the gold here. So Thrifty, despite not being 2-1, is actually very close on gold. So maybe just doing a better job of nailing the creeps that counts. Watch out though in the bot lane here. Oh, beautiful! All gonna push them backwards, but that is gonna be right where Wang wants them, and you don't want to be where Wang wants you to be. Tizzy going to get a kill. Flash away from Simibeer. Not enough. Wang with his third, and a beautiful fight from the feet jury.
Wang is making this Trundle look good with these pillars. They are pinpoint.
Yeah, what's not looking good is the chop man. Dolphy with the roam gets his third of the game here, keeping the kill score even, as well as kind of turning the tide in that top lane a bit. But holy guacamole, we got some tower damage going down in the bot lane here. It's going to be a 3-plater, maybe? It depends if they want to greed another wave or not. Although the recall also come through, so they probably won't. This has turned a gold lead over to 1,000 on the team gold in favor of the feet jury.
And Alawi's going to snag a plate here. And it's more or less even at this point. Even though the kills in mid lane suggest there might be a differential there, it feels like these champs are relatively on par with each other.
Yeah, two mid laners going to check each other's ball sack, and Tim, with the ball sack of a grown man, going to get the solo kill there, despite the kill deficit.
Dropping these nuts on Mr. Hui in the lane. The disrespect. You don't disrespect the dragon when he's got the ult up. That's when he becomes the baddest dragon.
And he was a bad dragon indeed on that one.
So we're up to what, 2 bad dragon jokes already? Someone keeping a counter of this in chat, by the way, while we're going through the game. We'll see how many we can get to. What's the over-under on the number of bad dragons we can have in this game?
Well, speaking of bad dragon, Mad Cow 0-2 in the top lane right now. That's maybe the interesting thing about this game is that it's going really well for BFJ in spite of Mad Cow, who I don't want to say fully in spite of Mad Cow. He's got a very complicated scoreline right now. Obviously, up a lot of CS, down some kills. Gold is dead. Even if you look at those top laners, thanks to the plates and the CS here. But to be up in gold in the early game without Mad Cow, with Mad Cow kind of just playing like a coon up top, I think they got to be pretty happy with that.
And I mean, he still has just a shitload of lane pressure right now on this Alawi. Like, you can see her. She's running for her life. And even though he's 0-2 and he's gotten the lion's share of the gank pressure from the Wormbound Crusaders this game, he's still got a really sizable lead here. He's holding his own.
Oh, I think we got a fight coming here, too. His Phoenix Blade's being collapsed on. Oh, it is so early. He is so squishy. So dead. Second kill for Aurelion Sol.
I'm honestly not sure what the Amumu was doing there.
Hoping to greed the dragon here. I don't know if there's much more to it than that. Can we see the mom? And mom's gonna whip.
Swing and a miss for the mother.
Is there a... I don't know if there's a way to check the Void Grubs. Oh, that's right here. Okay, that's what I thought. So,
yeah.
That is all 6 over to BFJ, so that will be something to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, the 6-0 Void Grub advantage is absolutely huge come mid-game when you start getting some side lane pressure and teams have to start focusing on objectives around the map. You suddenly have to start respecting the random split push because those towers just start crumbling in a hurry.
Fast-ass Wang coming in, gonna lay a little damage down here as a lot of members are showing up in the mid lane. Direct the camera, please take us back to the team fight, because here it comes. A lot of damage going out. We do see Aurelion Sol now maybe turning the tide here. A lot of damage on the Sivir, not gonna make it out. Thrifty with his 3rd kill, but it's a 1-for-1 traded for the Swain here. We'll see, can any CC go down, or is everyone gonna be playing footsies for a little longer? I'm thinking that's going to be the case, as Direct to camera just refuses to take us from top lane.
Did Directed Camera just become a pacifist since last week or something? It just doesn't want to look at the fighting.
Maybe that's why Spectator was down for a week.
Probably.
All right, we will see here, though. Phoenix and Tuesday collapsible, potentially. I think they want to buy some time for Chai to get a little closer. Tizzy very low health, which complicates this a lot, but Wang is a big man right now. Or he's a squishy little man, because he's going to get chunked out of that one. I'm curious if BFJ wants to let the second dragon go or not. In the top lane, neither of the teleports are available, so for the love of God, I'm going to take matters into my own hand here, where dragon is being pulled out, and it does look like BFJ are opting to give this one up. I think that is probably the right play. They were getting kind of chunked out there, so pending a mistake here.
Wang just got poked a little too much. He's still very squishy, trying to build that Hydra item. Until he gets some more beef in his system, he's just going to fall apart real quick. Ooh, that Alawi damage, though. And now he gets to play the coveted mini-game of do I, don't I for 20 seconds.
Yeah, and Chopman, you know, he has played a fair amount of Alawi in his time, so at least he knows how, how the bullshit works from this champion. So we'll see here. I think he's going to take a reset probably after another wave and be fine here. Do watch out, though, because flashes are coming up in the top lane. Chopman probably wants to greed out a wave here and then teleport back to lane if he needs to.
Oh, for sure. Can't let that wave go.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you full clear the wave in the quarter of a second like that.
Must be nice having that Mordekaiser Q all the way maxed out with a couple of AP under your belt.
So let's look back at Team Gold here. The one substantial lead in this early phases of the game is going to be Wang in the jungle. Not surprising given the scoreline. Wang up about 1,000 gold on Phoenix Blaze. Otherwise, just a couple of hundred gold here and there separating some of the players. But that does equate to a 1,600 gold lead for BFJ, as well as the 6 Void Grubs, but then obviously the 2 Dragons for Wormpound Crusaders.
You see Chai rotate all the way up from bot lane to go focus his Rift Herald. This seems to be a pretty common playbook for the Feet Jury. This is something I really like to do, is prioritizing that topside objective and bringing the support to ensure that they have the manpower to secure it.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on it before, and I might not be able to comment on it again because they look like they want to fight here. Mumu's also posturing that way, but I don't know if we're going to get it. But this is a prime example of one of those plays Chai wouldn't have made a year ago without really ample work, and just not just a great job from him, but also from his team to communicate this in advance, although maybe some damage going to stick here. No, I just get my hopes up way too fast now. This is what happens when you
see the dragon spit in the fire like, oh, maybe, yes.
Yeah, when you stop playing the game, you always think everyone's going to die so much faster than they do. But we're going to cut this back to mid lane here. We're going to cut this to mid lane, directed camera, as here we go. Amumu coming forward here. The turret's going to go down, but what will be the cost? Wang flashing out, going to make it into the Taric. Oh, now a lot of damage on the kite here. I don't think anyone's going to... No, Wang he's so close, and he's going to get sniped. Smolder with a first kill of the game, but a turret is going to be taken. Meanwhile, We look downhill here. Dire Chapman is chasing Thunder down, but he's got to be careful. This could turn into a collapse for his team here. Chai, though, going to walk in, get a nice stun out. Will it matter that Alawi is tanky, but not tanky enough? Smolder coming in on the flank with some low health bars here. Can he turn this at all? Oh my god, Aurelian Soul just going through, laying the laser through everyone. Can Tuesday burn? I think he's going to make it out here, but just a series of, the series of outplays comes to an end as Thrifty goes a little too far forward here, but still, on the whole, a big sequence of wins for Briar's Feet Jury.
Just as I was about to say, we had a pretty clear winner for baddest dragon of the mid-game, suddenly away with the downtown QW to put Thrifty in the dirt once again and get some sort of equalizing fight out of that skirmish, because it was looking like it was going all the way in the favor of Briar Feet Jury until they at least got a consolation prize.
So 3,000 to the lead here for BFJ as we head towards this mid-game. Just over a minute till the next dragon spawns, as this gold lead may increase. I don't know if Dario can quite take this tower yet, but he's going to try to pressure it. Does have his teleport available. I think this dragon's going to be the big fight here, just because obviously BFJ don't want to be down 0-3 on the dragons, and Dario, his defensive senses should be tingling here. Probably won't settle. Oh, here we go. The call from Mom coming through the slow zone. And Dario's going to get a defensive teleport from his teammate. Will it be enough to deter them? He's going to die under his tower. Can Thrifty turn this? Going to get the burn onto Thunder. Flashes right into a stun. And now Thrifty trying to run away here. Can he 1-for-1 under his tower? Oh, Phoenix Blaze just barely gets out of range.
No.
And oh my god, Tuesday as well. But that is going to create a lot of pressure at this dragon pit. That might have been a little bit of an overcommit for the Crusaders, who should have been playing to this dragon advantage. But now, I mean, look at how deep this control is going to be going up into the red side jungle.
Yeah, I know that went in their favor, but I'm not even sure it's worth. Like, if you're the Crusaders right now, you're obviously behind in gold. You probably can infer that from the scoreboard, but you've got to get this third dragon to secure some kind of a route to victory in this game, because if these dragons start falling the way of the Feet Jury, you're going to be in big trouble really
So we'll see
quick,
here.
especially with the way this Aurelian Soul's scaling.
Beelining into Dragon, and that is going to be enough. So I'm actually surprised here. I don't know why BFJ didn't want to fight that. They had control of the ramps. They had a Misfortune, a Trundle, a Tarek, a really hard team to push into. But Shotman, not the man to wait around, but Shotman is a little squishier than he realized. Going to have to defensively ult onto Phoenix Blaze just to buy some time here. Going to lay some damage. Now here we go. The ult's coming out. That Misfortune ult going to hit absolutely nobody. Is this the opportunity the Crusaders needed to get in this game? Swain's going to go down, not doing much in the fight here. And now the Feet Jury should be moving forward, but Thunder going to lay down a lot of damage across everybody. So many low health bars here. A 3-for-2 in favor of the Crusaders, though. Good play from Tuesday to mop things up, and that is going to be their dragon.
Wow. I thought for certain that Feet Jury there had that dragon in the bag. They had the position, they had the damage, they had the ults to secure the engage spots, and then one bad team fight just turns it all around, and suddenly it's looking like the momentum is shifting over to the Crusaders here.
Yeah, I would have to go back and watch the replay to see what Feet Jury we're seeing on the setup there. I really do think they could have just pulled that dragon down, burned it, and killed Crusaders before they would have had a chance to engage. But they clearly saw things differently, and that is now going to mean a 3-0 gold lead in a very real condition to play around here for WBC.
1,600 gold separates these teams, and one of them is lurking. Oh, they're going for the Baron, and I don't think the Crusaders have a
fucking clue. Oh no, it's not going down that fast, but it's not gonna matter. Swain, are you gonna go check it? Do you have any idea? Just starting to walk forward, taking it nice and slow, and there it goes. Baron Nashor secured by BFJ.
Well, speaking of momentum and turning things around, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, here we go. The call for Mom going to come through, but the Phoenix play is getting pretty deep here. Going to get the kill on the Chopman. Now there's not a lot of beef here. Thrifty maybe zoned off of his team. It is a 1-for-1 though. Phoenix does die, but I think this is still going to be a win for the Crusaders. This is a double kill, and Mr. Tuesday looking like he will not be denied this game. Starting to really get rolling here.
Those 2 items on Smolder, and now he is gigantic. The biggest little dragon on the Rift right now.
Yeah, well, look at him. You know, despite everything, he's only up 1,000 gold on Tizzy, which is actually shocking looking at the scoreboard. Just shows that the turrets have added up here for the feature, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
A 2,000 gold lead for Wang, by the way, which I believe is the biggest of any position here.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
tweet up the free pink words, I suppose. Gotta farm something.
Yeah, Thrifty,
Thrifty
playing with
might
fire.
just be dead here.
Yeah, he's ticking away. Don't get cropped. No! Tuesday is a bad man. And now, what did you think you were going to do there, Wang? It's a double kill for Mr. Tuesday. You know what night it is. Shotman doing what he does best, going in, securing one kill, and then very likely dying in the process. No, he gets the shutdown. And that was massive. And Shotman chopping away. Got two. Can he find a third? Can he find a fourth? He's buying time for his bot lane to show up, and he gives absolutely zero fucks. A triple kill for the Mordekaiser.
Chop goes the chop man. And just when you thought that this Smolder was just gonna bury the feat jury and take over this game, Dario's like, nah,
And I was gonna make this comment a little earlier when he was 0-2, how one of the good and bad things about Mad Cow, one of the things about Brandon is that whether he's down or not, he's not gonna stop playing the game his way. If Russell Westbrook is 4 of 20 in an elimination playoff game, he's still going to shoot the shot at the end of the game, you know?
Damn straight. And he's not going to shy away from an engage or an encounter either. He knows his team is behind, but he's going to leave it all out there. He's not going to go to the gray screen having anything in the tank. Or just not go to the gray screen at all, as that tends to be the case with Dario Chopman in team fights.
Yeah, absolutely a huge exchange there, as this game has really had a lot of swings. So we're looking at just under a minute and a half here for the fourth dragon of the game, and that's going to be a very pivotal moment here to see if the Crusaders can go up 4-0 or not. Obviously still a solid gold lead in favor of the feat jury, but absolutely not unthrowable.
Oh, not at all. I mean, just earlier this season, we saw I think it was a 11K gold lead that was thrown in one game. Anything can happen.
I feel like we should have a system set up, like an automated system. It should be like when you click one of those fake phishing emails at work and they make you do a remedial training. If you throw an 11,000 gold lead, everyone on your team should get remedial training they're required to complete to play next week.
You have to go back to the tutorial and play 5 bot games before your account gets unlocked again.
Yeah, you just get like a random chapter from Sun Tzu's The Art of War, and you need to talk about how you could just apply this to not throwing your games to League of Legends. Alright, I think we do have a fight breaking out here. Yeah, here we go. The Trundle Pillar gonna split things. A lot of damage. A big MF ult at the start of this. Now Thrifty very unaccounted for. This is looking very good, but a lot of Alawi damage is coming out. Gonna make this a very competitive team fight, but now I think the collapse is coming. The health bars are too low, and that was just a fight won on every front by Briar's feat jury. 1-4-5, and that may be the tanker they were waiting for. Not even gonna need to keep more than one person in the pit here. They're gonna take Dragon, they're gonna take some mid lane turrets.
And right before the clusterfuck of AoE bullshit that was that team fight, Chai landed an absolutely immaculate Tarek stun that hit both of the people waiting in the bush on Wormbound Crusaders, and I honestly think that's what won them the team fight.
Yeah, shoutouts to the fans in the chat here who are going to have the time of their life when Wormbound Crusaders turn this one around. Maybe you can start with a pick onto the Chopman here. He does not have an ult available, doesn't have a ton of health available, and it is going to be a kill over to the Hwei. Now, can they find a pick on a Thrifty? I don't think so. It's still something to slow down the bleeding, but man, they lost the Dragon, 3 turrets, and an inhibitor off that total exchange.
It's better than nothing for sure. Chopman ran into the electric fence. Thrifty's got that flight cheat code. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser does not.
So we'll see here. 7,000 is the gold lead now in favor of Briar's feat jury.
The mid lane is dead even. The jungle lead that Wang has opened up, though, here on Phoenix Blaze, I don't think that could be understated. It just seems like a lot of it has just come from the times that Wang has put himself in a position to make a play, he's executed the play. And I don't know if it's just that maybe Phoenix hasn't converted nearly as much as Wang has, or he just hasn't been as present, but Wang has worked himself a huge advantage here.
Yeah, absolutely. Wang's playing really well.
All right, time for the Baron posture. Everybody's favorite part of the, well, we're 26 minutes in, so it's honestly still mid-game. It's the SBL. You know, this game's going 40 minutes or some shit like that. Who's going to win the Baron coin flip when this invariably happens?
Yeah, we'll see here. Obviously, in theory, that is what you would expect to see in the SBL, but in reality, I think the team with the best macro in the league on the loot side here, I do think this is a chance for them to show, like, hey, it is possible to do a clean Baron situation in the SBL, which is let the supers pressure, let Brandon pressure down there in the bot lane, make them approach you somewhere they don't want to approach you.
Yep, they're doing this exactly right. They put the big man bot lane away from the action. They know nobody can answer that Mordekaiser 1v1 right now, and they know they don't want to send anybody else to fight him because he's just going to put him in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, and the situation is called here by Thrifty with a beautiful roam here. They're going to get the pick under the tower on the Thunder, but they bit off a lot here. Very low health bars on both of these solo laners, and there is a kill on the Thunder. And I think they may have bit off too much. It forces a flash from Thrifty, but there's going to be a chance to win some ground back here for the Crusaders. Can Dolphy walk out of this one? Wang is very fast, doing a lot of damage, but going to be kited out here. As now a lot of people are nearby. Tizzy, gotta be careful here. Phoenix in a flash, get the double ult through as we are fiesting here. Tizzy flashing away here. The defensive Trundle Pillar maybe going to save her life. No, I don't. No, it's not. Hwei from downtown gonna knock this one. And this is actually a pretty huge sequence of events here for the Crusaders. They're gonna have man advantage around a Baron. They're not that far away from an inhibitor respawning.
Yeah, this is looking a little less clear than it might have been about a minute ago with the 1-4 split that the Feet Jury had going, and now all of a sudden, ooh, with the TP coming in, the Smolder's burning this dragon.
Wang is alive.
Down,
Wang is alive, but he does not have his flash, so it's going to be very hard for Trundle to get in this pit. Thrifty going to try to run Disruption proactively, gets a nice ult, but going to lose his life. 10th kill of the game for Tuesday, but now Chopman is in the middle of everybody, just where he wants to be, and the health bars are starting to melt here. An invulnerable Chopman chasing down the little baby dragon, going to get the kill, and this is looking like yet another great team fight for the Feet Jury. Melting through the Crusaders, and yet again, 1 for 5. Didn't even have Tizzy in the fight, and that is going to be game over.
What a call by Thrifty there to go play hero ball and just say, I'm going to sack my life if it means they get off the Baron, and I'm going to trust my team to come in and clean up the mess, and Chai landing stun after stun yet again to give them the penultimate advantage in this game.
Yeah, that is going to be game over here. We've just got a support spawn coming through here in a moment. Not going to be enough to defend this Nexus, barring a miracle. And I think they're going to play to stack the KDA a little bit here. Is Tizzy the only one with the sense to make sure the turrets go down? And that is going to be game over. Briar's Feet Jury comfortably going to send the Crusaders down to 0-4.
Man, what a exciting game. Even though it might not have been that close on paper at the end, those team fights were just crazy fucked. So much fun to watch.
That was a wild game here. Look at these chats.
Do you know what Smolder does yet, Swift? Because I still don't.
This is it. This is Briar's Feet Jury's win condition. 37k in the mid lane, 39k in the top lane, 12 from Sarah Fortune. But knowing her role, only one death there, and her team played really well when she was dead. So that's what the SBL is about. Whether you're the best player on the team or man number 5, slotting in the role, doing what your team needs, and that is what everyone on the BFJ did to a T there. So that is going to be game 1, folks. Stick around. We will be back in just a few minutes here. We've got Wormbound Crusaders going up against the undefeated Big Dirk Energy. So stay tuned. We will see you in a few.
See you, nerds.